afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from me, host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero Strike, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 versus 1 on Holotny Felmer Winter. Between the West, we got Luciano fighting for Germany, Deutschland. The 2nd SS Panzerdivision das Reich. First in the East, we got WebsterBolek fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Taking on the role of the 1st Armored Division, we got here Mechanized Assault in a rare display there from Luciano with Panzer Fast Anti-Tank and Infantry Bulletins versus WebsterBolek's Armor Company, Airborne and Heavy Cavalry, actually 1 Infantry, 1 Officer Bulletins, and them Trendy Bulletins on there with the double rifle here. We got double MG42s for Luciano, no Infantry Company. Could indicate he's actually planning on using an Assault Grenadiers, so he might actually be going here for a Tier 2 rush using Mechanized Assault. That's definitely not a very often seen strategy, to put it mildly. But while going down here and there to try and lock off the northern compartment, of course it means he's getting absolutely no territory compared to WebsterBolek, who's actually gaining some. Second MG42 almost done there for Luciano. Will be going for more Pioneers, and MG42 will in fact be the Assault Grenadiers. He's not far off from getting them. He is not far off. But there you go, wiring off here and there. He's still not seizing a lot of territory. MG42 arriving, and there you go. Assault Grenadiers arriving here for Luciano and the 2nd SS Panzerdivision das Reich. So double rifle squad here for WebsterBolek. So far, there'll probably a 3rd one. He could consider a mortar. We shall see what it ends up with. We shall see. MG42 there grabbing here, ready to pop into the house. There's not many armies stuck out in the open. Reasons occupying the church, grabbing the munitions, grabbing the fuel. So far, the first few minutes here are pretty quiet. We'll have to see when WebsterBolek chooses a doctrine. Will it be in response once he sees what Luciano's going for? Will it be later down the road? MG42 trying to catch with the troops. Reasons there. Assault Grenadiers moving in. Will he use sprint? I mean, a lot of players, when they actually do use the Assault Grenadiers, tend to neglect using the sprint ability. So we'll have to see. We're so far on that. Reasons opening up, of course. I mean, the thing to mind, volley fire makes them more easy to hit. So even out in obstructed, they do become easier targets with the Assault Grenadiers and the MG42. So there you go, down to just 2 men. 1 guy trying to suppress a full squad of German infantry with an M1 carbine. Come on, Carl, you can do it. But it's just me, Sarge. I believe in you from the other end of the church. 2nd Assault Grenadier squad arriving there for Luciano. So we've got double MG42s, double Assault Grenadiers here. MG4 sitting up to support the Pioneers. So rather than quickly getting suppressed, the Pioneers scanning them down up close and ugly. Rather than taking losses, I imagine here WebsterBolek might in fact be in shock. Assault Grenadiers, like, who does that anymore? Assault Grenadiers took some hits here, I think, from the Reasons actually. Maybe the rifleman there. Quickly falling back there in the face of such aggressive American firepower. The problem is with the Assault Grenadiers, they're not really good at dealing with units like houses unless they got the Assault Grenades themselves. So, I mean, otherwise he's just basically wasting a bit off. He's trying to play around this instead of just fighting from in there, but that's just my opinion. Back here, reinforcement going on. We got Lieutenant Weather for WebsterBolek. We got, I imagine, at some point take care for Luciano, but not now. Not now. We have to go for 3rd Assault Grenadier squad. I mean, yeah, he's going for it. We got 3 Assault Grenadiers, double MG42. Wow. Luciano is really treating us to something special here today. We'll have to see if it's something good, but it's definitely something special. Rather than getting flanked by the soldiers, got the MP40s they're finding away. Closing in on the rifle, they were quickly falling back, but Luciano should probably take up, so can use that way take advantage of the Assault Grenadiers as soon as possible. So if they do benefit quite from that, you also should get this machine gun moving further forwards. Like, I don't think he benefits much from his MG42s being nice and active when he's trying to always play aggressive with his infantry. He would benefit a ton from the Assault Grenadiers being backed up by the MG42s, but so far Luciano's ranging in the head with no support. M20 following up there for WebsterBolek. So again, I feel this is a bit awkward there for Luciano. 2 Assault Grenadier squads retreating. 3rd squad hitting Salford to take up their finally happening for Luciano. MG4 through the repositioning. And there you go, rifle caught here by the MG42. Take almost done. Assault Grenadiers are going a bit of territory in the far south. You got some Reasons doing the same here for WebsterBolek. And the 1st Armoured Division tasked with clearing out this hodgepodge of SS Truppen from the 3rd SS Panzergrenadier Company. Troops are reinforcing. Medic bunker there built. Well, the bunker itself is built. The medics need to be added. tank reps there. So far, though, noting Luciano has yet to use sprint at all. Again, I think it's a critical ability when active comes using the assault grenades, but so many players, when they go for them, tend to neglect it, which I do feel is unfortunate. And there you go, just it's retreating. That's definitely the right decision here. Good unit preservation there by Luciano. Up north, the MD42 being assaulted by riflemen. We have no grenades here though for WebsterBolek. That's fortunate here for the MD42. Others could suffer more. Two pulling northwards. M20. Oh, goodness. Telemine goes off and the M20 is down. A big loss there for WebsterBolek in the early game. The M20 has managed to do absolutely zip. And with one just mine, it is gone. That's going to help Luciano quite nicely. That's going to help Luciano there. That's certainly going to help him for the fact he was a bit slow in his taking out there. I would say he's not quite getting the full there out of his assault grenades, part because he's not sprinting with them. Medic bunker there done. Need to get that like to make a nice company up soon, I think, to get some cannons for any further vehicles that WebsterBolek might get. I mean, an anti-aircraft half-track is not exactly far off, I think. I'd certainly be surprised if he didn't go for one. Reinforcement support here. Back here are the squads heading out. And heading for the Coh2. We've got a recent squad with minesweepers out. As soon as he loses a vehicle, he does get minesweepers. Obviously, WebsterBolek's no clown. Up close to the rear, they'll lose out thanks to being usually follow fire. That is pretty close here. Problem is they're still vulnerable, meaning even if they suppress the unit gets enough there through the penalty they take to just be able to kill them. Up north, rifle push back. Assault goes moving back as another one moves forwards. Pioneers, there we go. Like to make a nice company. Double Pioneers, triple assault gunners, and double MD42s here from Luciano. I mean, this is definitely an interesting Wehrmacht build. I mean, I don't think it's something everyone could pull off, but it's definitely interesting. Securing territory here and there. Like to make a nice company up. Minesweepers up. I imagine here WebsterBolek is taking no, or Luciano's taking no chances about WebsterBolek. I mean, he's seen one M23 that goes for another one that quickly promises for his vehicles, plus he has doctrines that allows him to lay down mines. So, I mean, there's plenty of incentive there for him to consider minesweepers in case, you know, he's actually respecting his opponent. I mean, obviously he could just decide he's never going to do it, but certainly the smart American players will lay down mines, and assuming your opponent is smart, it's generally the smartest idea. See what I did there? But second M20 for WebsterBolek, that's an interesting choice there. Most players would only go for one like M20 and then, you know, never bother again. But WebsterBolek is committed to more than one M20. He really wants to use the M20. And I imagine he's sort of banking on the idea that he's not going to hit another mine. Luciano here going for the half-track. I'm hoping, really hoping he's not going to use the flamethrower. He's going to use the transport assault gunners out, and that way just pop them up close to the infantry and gun them down, because it's actually a surprisingly effective tactic. Like, just fill up the half-track with the assault gunners, rush it in, pop them out so they're right close range, and then just murder everything with the MP40s. But there you go, caught in a lot of stuff there. Grenade assault against the lieutenant. Didn't quite work out there. In the south here, assault goes running to the M20, half-track out here. He's going to need a 2-2 pack forward to have a chance with the M20. Oh, he's going to need to hope he hits another telemine. I don't think Luciano's been laying down any other telemine except that one up in the north. So we'll see what ends up. We've got a fighting position to cover the centre here. Interesting move there, WebsterBolek. Well, it's going for a doctrine. At the roughly 8-9 minute mark, we got Armour Company. Good golly. Armour Company versus Mechanized Assault. Now that's a meta I have not seen in years. Armour Company, wow. That would be very interesting. Assault, now they could actually pop grenades, I think, to clear up the church, but I don't think he's paying attention. Actually need to retreat here. In the south, Rifenstein forts there, M20 moving in as well, so I'm guessing he's going to try and make use of the M10s there, possibly the bulldozer Shermans. It's a bit hard to say that what WebsterBolek is planning. I mean, it's just been ages since I've seen anyone seriously making use of Armour Company. So while there's been an increase slightly in Mechanized Assault, the Armour Company one is definitely rarer, and definitely just marks this fight as not your average fight for sure. Okay, found their punishment. Got the Lieutenant holding up here. Rearson pushed out into the 250 on half, and there go. He's upgrading to the flame for half tech. So sadly, Luciano in this case dashed my hopes. I had hoped for, you know, mechanized assault tactics with mechanized infantry there, but sadly, it was not to be. At least not for now. I'm a bit sad. I had hoped for it. I had really hoped for it. Obviously, it was a pretty, you know, far-fetched hope, but, you know, sometimes you just gotta hope for the best, for the most fun. Rattling through the south, the M20 moving in. Noting here that Luciano has actually no real counter to the M20 except for the insane armor piercing. Oh, there you go. We've got a pack 40 in the way. You could also consider soon taking out there for some medium armor and push that against WebsterBolek. We'll see what it ends up with. Got the M20 there unleashing hell with its 50 caliber there on top of the Mardus. Yeah, I think we need to go somewhere else, somewhere less with less Americans about. I don't think this is good for our health. Ah, scheiße, they keep coming for us. Goddamn Americans. And that's only one weakness of the assault gun, is they have absolutely no way of defending themselves against vehicles. In a lot of cases, except in this case the rear is exposed to the MP4, which they do some light damage, but even that is pretty optimistic. Wait, did he actually just accidentally use sprint there? He did. Finding position down though, taken out here by the Flammenpanzerwagen, leading WebsterBolek's position nothing more than a barbecue pit. Rifle falling back here, the MP40's I don't know, probably just felt like he wouldn't get anywhere with it. Take up here for WebsterBolek, very good. As for Luciano, he is not displaying any signs of take up as of yet. Got the Flammenpanzerwagen in to deal with the Yankees. Defend the fatherland by burning it. Well, more specifically the ones on it. That key healing reinforcement. Assault guns are slowly approaching something. I still feel like Luciano needs to use sprint or some vehicle to get them close enough. There you go. Riesland's one. That's actually a bit of loss of WebsterBolek. He's also enough not try considering using assault units to maybe get some flamethrower units of his own. Plus the grease guns and the ability to lay down mines. I mean, they do have a lot of utility in that sense. But there you go. Mortar. 50 caliber here for WebsterBolek. It will be some time before we can get out any armor anyways. Bit of skirmishing here. Assault goes rifle on health. And there you go. He does use sprint. He does use sprint to get close. Very good, very good. That's going to give the rifle some issues. And there you go. They drop like sacks of potatoes. But the assault guns are getting focused on by another rifle squad, this time with BARs. Does retreat, but there you go. More moving in behind the rifleman. A lot of MP40s, a lot of death, a lot of bullets. Small chance of, oh, increases, and he gets a wipe on the rifle squad. No BAR drop there, but that's going to hurt WebsterBolek quite a bit to see his men in such a fashion cut apart. And we got Panzer Grenadiers out here as well. Some assault infantry of a slightly higher caliber than the assault grenadiers, well, sort of slightly more mid-ranged. The interesting thing is, if he's going to equip them with Patricks down the road, he's also got the Pack 40 about here still. And we got artillery called in, forcing Luciano there to abandon the house, but post and fall back, leaving him with no way to cover the centre easily with a machine gun. Flammenpanzer escapes there. Looks like he avoided it. Anti-tank rifle grenade. WebsterBolek can soon go for a Sherman. He could also go for the M10. I mean, the M10 would certainly lock down the flame for a half track pretty fast. But we'll leave him with less options versus the infantry. I think WebsterBolek is more likely to go for initially a Sherman, but could then always follow up with a M10 tank. So a Panzer strikes on the Panzer Grenadiers. It does turn into Panzerjägers. Which to hunt down see Amerikanischer Panzer. Full retreat in the 50 caliber machine gun. Panzers don't need to retreat. They are already below half health. And smoke, interesting. He's expecting the machine gun to be here, so it's going to push through. Undercover the smoke. Very good move there by WebsterBolek. Very good move though. The machine gun is repositioning to thwart this. Plus we've got the R1 up here, and he's got no further support here. Though he can lay down another smoke screen here. Though of course it still leaves the other machine gun. So WebsterBolek here will definitely benefit from a tank, partly just for the firepower, but also the smoke and rifle. Oh, bad spot, horrible spot. They're getting burned up alive. Assault guns are closing mates to 2, going in for the kill, but they are taking themselves to heavy loss here from the M20 and the Lieutenant. Bazooka team going for the flame for a half track. And now WebsterBolek should be able to go for a Sherman tank. He can also go for the M10 if he wants to. I think he should at least go for one Sherman before considering the M10s, in particular with the Panzerjägers and all the assault gunners out, need something to hurt the infantry. Plus, it does have more utility in the form of smoke as well. I mean, then once Luciano begins bringing up the armor, and I'm surprised he's been so slow to take out, they can follow up with the M10s. There we go, the assault gunners are doing better. Slightly with the lieutenant, but the M20 ultimately continues to prove to be an issue here for Luciano. But that Supremo Corps needs to go up schnell, and WebsterBolek needs to get that tank out fast. Fast. Come on, man. Put the pedal to the metal. Flampanzerwagen moving northwards here to clear out any Yankees. And there you go, Yankees spotted and burned. Punch was caught by the 5th Caliber, and the results are not very pretty. That 5th Caliber continues to turn out to be a bane there for the Panzerjägers. So it's the second time the 5th Caliber just pretty much stopped them on the spot. So Paul McCrop there for Luciano. It actually ends up looking like he might be able to get a tank sooner than WebsterBolek, despite WebsterBolek having been and having the resources for quite a bit longer than Luciano. Bazooka team on it again, pushing back the Flampanzerwagen. But there you go, straight to the assault gun. These results are not particularly pretty. In fact, the bazooka gets dropped. And there you go, rushing straight past the assault guns, going for the M20 here, or the flame for half-tech. He could equip the assault guns there with the bazooka, but decides not to. Decides not to. Noting, by the way, he's upgraded both squads with minesweepers. I think that's a bit overkill. Like, he is still up against an American player, even if he begins using some. It's not, I think, that kind of be necessary to use double minesweepers. And he's tagged up, and then he goes for the Stoogie. That is a very weird timing here from Luciano. Assuming he wants to be short, just so he can still call something in, but I don't know why not just go for a Panther 4. Oh well, got the Stoogie out here. Sturm ist jetzt 3 Ausführung E, or Model E, with a 75mm cannon. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's just a cheaper Sturmpanzer 4 with slightly less effective AoE and slightly less fast rate of fire, but can still be effective if you know how to use its attack ground ability, and others just get a bit lucky. Finally going for some armor there. WebsterBolek's going for the Jackson. I'm not entirely sure I'm a fan of this particular timing. Like, he should have gone for that, something sooner. And I don't think he should have gone for a Jackson. I think he should have gone for Sherman and then follow up with, some, I don't know, M10s or something. But instead, this is what we get. Also worth noting, I mean, he hasn't really used the Doctrine despite having chosen it reasonably early, compared to Luciano, has at least used Assault Gunneers and the Stoogie. They're no mechanized assault group, not that I blame him for it. That ability is not the best of the call-ins in general. Stoogie shoots and misses. And there you go, got the M36 Jackson tanks right here for WebsterBolek for the 1st Armored Division. Elements of the 1st Tank Destroyer Company are supporting. Generally, Jacksons and M20 always work together, since the M20 would work alongside Jeeps as observers and spotters for the tank destroyers. Little fun fact there. Pack follow this heading up here. Stoogie on the way for Luciano, so that might be again why he went for it, so he can just push out the Stoogie, but until he's got armor to back it up if it becomes necessary. So he's going to basically be relying on the Stug battery, which would have been attached to the 2nd SS, since the 2nd SS, most of the SS Panzer Division, in fact, did not have any assault guns attached to it. That's a fun note there. That was really only something the Wehrmacht Panzer Divisions did. The SS Panzer Divisions, unless they're supposed to get something else, got Stugs in replacement, did not get them. And that's generally only SS Panzer Gun Divisions. But there you go, fire opening up there. And there you go, Panzer is catching them 20. Coh2 up the tank, destroy flanking in. M20 almost down, need to pop smoke here. Going for the Stoogie here with it. M20 almost down, Stoogie shoots and takes it up. Bazooka dropped. Panzerjäger's moving down, the bazooka still dropped. Flampanzerwagen down, we got the Jackson falling back here. WebsterBolek's been getting caught apart by the machine gun. There we got artillery called in as well here by Luciano. Leichtes Infanteriegeschütz. Jackson trying to escape. The lieutenant Rifleman could get murdered here. He's not retreating. Oh dear, the Major went down in a major explosion. Rifleman still need to get out of there. They need to get out of there. He's not retreating them though. And now it does risk being a bit too late. In this case, the WebsterBolek does not get punished. He gets a bit lucky. That was sending some nasty losses on both sides. But both of Luciano's Stooks are intact. Of course, the Stookie didn't see any action, but the Stookie did. It did. Panzer Grenadiers there being suppressed by the 50 caliber, and while they would actually make sort of mixed Stook units, they're actually part of Stook brigades. They would not have had Stoogies since at this point. Well, they were pretty much all training and replacement times have been Stu 42s. That's a little fun fact there. And I suppose in this case it would have been a Stook brigade attached to the 2nd SS M41 and the Riflemen, slowly suppressing them. Then the South 50 being with the Panzer Grenadiers, repulsing them with some nastier losses. Noting by the way, double 50 calibers here with WebsterBolek, giving him more ability to control the infantry. Assault is immediately stopped. Armor moving up forward straight for the fire here. Note you can pop armor piercing rounds, it actually increases damage versus all targets, not just vehicles, but also infantry. And we got a bulldozer Sherman out here. So we got a Jackson and a bulldozer Sherman out here. 105mm Sherman specifically for WebsterBolek and him. I mean, obviously in this case it makes more sense than went for the Jackson because he wants the chunkier bulldozer Sherman to draw fire and of course deal with infantry and then use the Jackson as a specialist. So in that regard, like the strategy actually mirrors each other in a certain way. Like one sort of goes from the one to tank specialist, so the Stookie can deal with infantry, particularly upgrade with the machine guns, and then sort of having more of a specific anti-infantry / artillery specialist unit there. So that's a bit interesting to note there. Though Luciano's going to need another Stookie to deal with the Jackson, and for that matter the bulldozer Sherman. 105mm Sherman, like most Shermans could be equipped with bulldozer Shermans or something similar. There you go, takes a hit from the pack. 40 Jackson getting the Stook E head on. Good hit there, killing 2. And we got more Panzer Grenadiers out here for Luciano. Jackson falling back in the face of a ruthless German assault from the 2nd SS, 7th Panzer Grenadier Company. Bulldozer Sherman it there, shooting, missing. Similar to Sturmpanzers and Stoogies. You benefit more from using attack ground and the Bulldozer Sherman so to land this shell a bit better. But 3 kills so far than the 105mm Sherman. They're actually essentially employed like the Stu 42, but it's meant to deal with sort of infantry targets, target targets. There'd usually be a few of them in a, I think it was a Sherman battalion that sort of be part that attached to the company headquarters, then sort of attach wherever they needed specifically. Little fun fact there. So moving and engaging the machine gun, tearing it apart here. Bit of bad news there for the machine gun gewehr crew, but there you go. Stu E lands a decent hit, and the Stu G sort of fires away. Getting the machine gun fought, that was very good there, very good. Luciano's always in the defensive versus WebsterBolek. Despite actually in some ways have more infantry amongst other things. He is struggling a bit due to the 50 calibers and the hefty vehicles that WebsterBolek is so far wielding against Luciano. Pinmap machine gun. Moving ahead to the bazookas, which also makes it harder for Luciano to use his infantry. So many bazookas. It's a bit rare to see an American player that go for that many bazookas, even on the rifleman. And what is this? Luciano is going for a heavy panzer corps? What madness is this? So we got Stook E's, Stook G's, and now a heavy panzer corps? Wow. Not entirely sure what to make of that. That is, this is definitely shaping up to be a very unique match. Armor Company versus Mechanized Assault with Tier 4. Good God. Big assault here though. For some reason he's moving in the Panzerjägers rather than regular Panzer Grenadiers, but it does seem to do the trick here. Forcing WebsterBolek to retreat his infantry. He's also got a mortar up here. Actually missed that one. $105mm Sherman rolling back a bit. So it's going to go for a Panther, Sturmpanzer, or it's going to go for a Panzerwerfer? I mean, those are, I think, the big questions there. What exactly is planning from it? Up north, the soldiers close to Vetch affected with the Estons, cutting them down in cold blood with their Schmeissers, which was a colloquial name given for them. I should know. Not an official one. And one I think primarily used by the Allies. Sturmgeschütz, gefechtsbereit. Just reinforcing. Fun fact about Stugs, there's actually a training and replacement battalion for Sturmgeschütz in Denmark. It was stationed somewhere around Viborg. Little fun fact there. I think it was south of it. MD4 to the firing weather, close to Veteran 2. Assault guns moving in. Grab an mission. There goes. Fire their lance for the church. Doesn't do so much damage to the machine gun crew itself, but does tear out the chunk they have health on it. And I don't think Luciano's going for the Panther. We've gone for one by now, it was. So it's either the Sturmpanzer or the Panther he's planning here versus WebsterBolek. Stug, moving in. Artillery calling in WebsterBolek's positions. Artillery. Damaging in the Stug, forcing it back. Soldiers moving from the north here. Unit wiped, bit of loss there for Luciano. And Deutschland, Betchy 2 down the Stug E. He's about to lose the Stug G, they need to fall back with it. Soldiers moving in there. He lost his regular Panzer gun, he's still got the Panzer. He does go for the Sturmpanzer, he does go for the Sturmpanzer. So that was his plan there. More anti-infantry, of course. Less option dealing with the Jackson, but it does mean he can blast through a lot of infantry very fast with a bit of good luck. So interesting choice there. Nope. Panzerwerfer? He was planning them? It seems like I think Luciano just doesn't know what he wants here. I mean, at this rate, he might just end up cancelling the Panzerwerfer for the Panther then. But the smokes are down again to cover there. Again, he's anticipating most of the support weapons around there, so he can sort of grab the point here. Partly because he knows there's nothing there right now. 105 mm Sherman hanging back here. 105mm Sherman hanging back. Halfway to Veteran 2-1. Panzerwerfer almost done. Stug's being fixed up. Jackson is Veteran 2, and we got a M10 on the way there. Now he's going for the cheaper tank destroyers to augment the rest of his force there. He's still not using assault units, but he's starting to choose slightly more of the doctrine compared to before. Comparatively, Luciano's made use of 3 abilities within the doctrine. And the creature, of course, is going to be able to use a Tiger, maybe. Well, probably not the mechanized assault. I mean, he could do it, but not something I'd expect here. Okay, closing. There you go. Attack up the north here, pushing in. Panzer gun, these MG42s moving in. We got the M10 tank destroyer around here for WebsterBolek. Assault gun is falling back. Luciano starting to find himself a bit beleaguered here, attacked from several sides, and he seems a bit struggling there what he wants to do, but we got the Panzerwerfer out. We'll have to see how he makes use of it to turn the tide around, at least attempt to turn it around. Obviously. Stugi moving in. Going to be used to clear out the 50 caliber, and there you go. I think he sees it there with the resistance and just retreats rather than risk losing the 50 caliber machine. We got another M10 for WebsterBolek. Another M10 tank destroyer. Now push here for the center with the Pioneers for Luciano and the second accessories that push back. They stood no chance in the face of the machine gun event and the Sturmgeschütz. Other 5th caliber holding up here behind an old rock. There you go, Panzerwerfer barrage and wipes the 50 caliber crew there. Good bit of luck there for Luciano. Leaves WebsterBolek a bit short. The plus is going for another major move there by WebsterBolek. In the south, the soldiers immediately running into the bulldozer Sherman, and they are immediately bulldozed by the high explosive shell. Still getting bombarded by bazooka fire. Jack's moving in, even using HRAP rounds just to make sure stuff stays dead. Pioneers need to retreat soon. Pack 40 of them. We get a explosion on the Pack 4. They're very good. Pioneers about to get wiped. Panzerwerfer not ready to shoot. Stugie's being blasted up north. He's tried to flank instead, gets taken out by all of the tank destroyers. He did not anticipate two M10s bagging up the M36. I mean, who goes for this sort of build? WebsterBolek is who, it seems. Got another Stug on the way there, another Stug G here for Luciano. Vehicle hits the mines. Can he punish it though? He cannot. Except maybe with the Pack 40 of the Panzerjägers. But the Panzerjägers retreating is at least just to work into the Pack 40, and he gets the bulldozer Sherman. But Luciano is certainly in a bit of a tricky pickle here. I mean, he's definitely going for one of the more unorthodox overall strategies I have seen in some time. Perhaps he got bitten by Red Wings at some point and is now experiencing some of the side effects. Assault going to swim southwards here. Already taking mine losses here from the lieutenant. Another squad moving up, could actually threaten the retreat path here if he's not careful. Not a bad idea. So there you go, two Stug Gs now out here for Luciano. WebsterBolek just parking around the centre. You could threaten the northern half of the map, I think, a bit more here. Try to threaten Luciano from being cut off from his resources, force him to commit more. But there you go. Panzer is moving in and again, bombarded here by all the tank destroyers. And the Americans did believe that at least use the M10 occasion for artillery bombardments. In fact, they can be used as tanks, though they were technically not supposed to. In fact, they could even be upgraded with every more armor, which is what these sort of big rivets on the side are for. But there you go, artillery barrage in the centre here. Another unit wiped out. Machine gun again hits the Panzerwerfer. Stug G falling back in the face of the bazookas, and the tanks on the south. Assault guns getting bombarded by the two M10s. Oh, he got one with 2 kills. And we got artillery called in as well on Luciano. Luciano is going through absolute murder here. Veterans who won on the Stug. Bazookas firing in the hands of Pioneers. Artillery running down. Dodges most of what Luciano's stuff got. He's just falling back. His rifle going for the Stug. Almost got it. Main gun out. Main gun out. Panzerwerfer's reloading. Oof, he almost lost his veteran fleet. MU-42 to the artillery strike. Called in by WebsterBolek. Like, WebsterBolek is now in control of the map here compared to Luciano. They did pay a bit of a price for it. Like, population-wise, he's a bit behind, though not massively. And now it's going to come down to Luciano quickly fixing up his armor and pushing ahead with it. Though, of course, with the double M10 about and the Jackson, it's not going to be too easy. Artillery barrage finally open. He's losing the Calf point, and up north here we got the M40 being flanked by a rear echelon squad. But the mortar here nearby as well to try and cave in their skulls. Grab the centre victory point up north here. Ooh, falling back. First group good to go. And what will WebsterBolek go for? Another bulldozer Sherman, regular Shermans, more M10s, more Jacksons? Like, there's a lot of opportunities there. Luciano, he definitely needs to figure out if he wants a Tiger or a Panther soon, because he's not playing for another Stug the way he's using his resources right now. So it's either a Panther or Tiger. I mean, the Tiger would try to have more advantages versus all the infantry, the Panther would be slightly better versus the tanks and tank destroyers. We'll have to see what Luciano sort of worries the most about. MD-42 push back. Big push here with Sturmgeschütz, Pionier, a few other bits. There you go, the M10s just went with several alongside the M36 tank destroyer. Like patient hunters waiting for the prey to make a move and step out into the open. Another bulldozer here for WebsterBolek, so more 105mm tanks. Inside this soldiers were suppressed with the 50 caliber machine gun. Another Panzerwerfer barrage. How much you want to bet it's going to be the same 50 caliber machine gun? He keeps calling in. Oh, he hasn't recruited. Still, almost got the 50 caliber this time around. Still 2 wipes is pretty good. And he's going for a base rate. We got WebsterBolek here with a base rate using the M10. He was trying to catch the Panzerwerfer. That was closer. That was closer. Now Luciano's going for Sturmpanzer, at least attempting to it again, no Panthers. I would say though, with double M10s and a Jackson, he really should have up a bit more of the anti-tank capability here. With something with a turret to help deal with the M10 because so they outflank his Stugs. He's in a lot of trouble. And the Sturmpanzer does not particularly fix that. Of course, it helps deal with the infantry, but there could definitely be some issues there for Luciano on the horizon if he goes for that Sturmpanzer and finishes it.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Bullshit rolling in straight in front of the Stooks. Shoots, misses, second one hits and penetrates. Down to half health, less than half health. Stook nuke there, the supported by the Panzerjägers, leaving WebsterBolek now without his bulldozer Sherman again. And we got the Sturmpanzer out for Luciano. Luciano clearly intent on showing how it's supposed to be done here, using the 150mm gun equipped Sturmpanzer 4 based on the Panzer IV chassis. Penalty machine on the way there. .50 caliber crude by the rifleman. Don't want that falling into the hands of the Krauts. Out he's moving up, shooting, and oh! Direct white 50 caliber loss as well. Jackson moves in there, gets a good hit in the Sturmpanzer. In the south, we got the soldier moving versus Lieutenant. He's going to need a grenade assault to flush them out. Granata. There we go. Come on, Fritz, you can do it. Just like we taught you. Satz away. Yeah, yeah, good, good. And so you got a lot of dead Americans. And so Aviation's pulling ahead here. Second infantry company is struggling a bit here. M10 moving forward. It's a big push. It's a big push here from WebsterBolek, but with no smoke screen to cover a lot of the anti-tank fire. Does risk a bit. He's going for the Sturmpanzer. He's going for the Stooks. But there you go. Jack's caught up in front of the Stooks. Couldn't move. The Stooks tore it apart. He used like an assault vehicle, which is not quite what it's good at. And he's going to see at least one of the M10s being knocked out as well over the Stooks. Didn't get the Sturmpanzer. Didn't get the Stooks. Only got the Panzerwerfer, which will help. But those are some severe losses here for WebsterBolek. Severe losses. But he's keeping it up. The Suga team's going in there, but they're having a bit of a hard time with the machine gun nearby. We got 8 rounds here for the M10, but there you go. Target weak point. The Suga farm. Main gun at the Stook. Sturmpanzer's blocking his escape. He might actually lose the Stook. Betty 2 and the Stook goes down, but not before the other one gets the M10. Absolute carnage and devastation. Sturmpanzer shoots, blows apart poor Jack. No, the Stook makes it out of there. The Stook makes it out of there. An absolutely horrific assault there from WebsterBolek, who just lost most of his forces in a one hell of a cataclysmic engagement versus Luciano. Like he's down to 28 now versus the 71 population of Luciano. Things just got a lot more difficult for WebsterBolek. Things just got a lot more difficult. Like that is a massive difference. He's also calling in a lot of anti-tank guns, having gone for the Captain. So we can see that WebsterBolek is feeling the pressure here from Luciano, who's now gone on the offensive for the fatherland. So time is now, my friends. The time is now. The attack. We need to destroy the allies and push them back into the Meuse. The Meuse? Yeah, I think it's how it's pronounced. Oh, we just push them into the Pacific. At least I can pronounce that one. Still putting thing with the rifleman. Got the 5th gun moving northwards. First one done there for WebsterBolek. Sturmpanzer running back with 9 kills. 4 kills and 1 kill on the Sturmgeschütz. And we got bazookas up here for the Captain. Whoa, whoa, whoa. He actually did go for the mechanized assault group. What is this? Luciano just keeps throwing me off here. Not only is he going for mechanized assault, not only is he going for tier 3 and tier 4, he's actually going for the mechanized assault group. Wow. He's definitely putting more use of the doctrine than WebsterBolek is. At least for now. Quick raid here with the 251. A Leichter Schützenpanzerwagen. 24 restraints to Lieutenant, quick barrier will be lost to. Panzer moving in, there you go, gets a good hit on the rifleman, blowing apart Joe and Bob. And the south of the translation repulses the Germans. And we got mortifier as well. This whole gun is close being wiped out. Need to retreat, need to heal up. Victory points wise. It is WebsterBolek now enjoying the lead here over Luciano with 277 versus 190. Assault goes around the centre. Stop. There he needs to be, I think, a bit more assertive. He needs to make a bigger push than just trying to sneak in one unit. That's not going to work now, I think. He also needs to be careful with the Sturm Punch, losing that one I think would be a big loss here versus WebsterBolek. Eric comes off and a unit got wiped there, I think, by the Sturm Punch. In fact, very good work there by Luciano. Further loss infected, and there you go, Stuke's falling back. If you got a big push here from WebsterBolek through the center, right from the Major, pushing through. Noting grenades here for WebsterBolek as well. Increasing lethality of his men on the business lead on smoke. Right from there, almost got taken out, I think, by the Sturm Panzer. 19 kills and taking them. There you go, we got the half tank moving in, flanking in. Oh dear, needs to be careful with the anti-tankers about there, which can need to do a lot of damage. There you go, the half tank is down. Nice loss there for Luciano. Panzerjäger's moving in, but taking fire there from the nearby riflemen. Chaos and carnage. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a bit difficult to keep track of all that's going on all of a sudden, as the silence is punctuated by sharp bursts of violence between these two high-ranked players. Troops are healing, reinforcing Scott almost down there for WebsterBolek. Another panzer rifle there for Luciano. Another rocket artillery piece. There we go, Scott. I'm surprised that WebsterBolek isn't trying to go for more tank destroyers to help deal with the Stukes and the Sturm Panzer. Instead, he's trying now, I think, to sort of focus on the infantry and get rid of that. That could then isolate the armor, making it easy to deal with. I mean, that's definitely a strategy, though we'll have to see how successfully he can execute this versus the opponent. We got the assault goes in before doing it there. 50 caliber opening up. And a second Scott. Good God. It's a bit risky because the issue is the anti-tank guns can, with a good shot from the Sturm Punch, for that matter, the Panther will actually be taken out. So he's committing, I think, a bit too much there, well, relying a bit too much on his anti-tank guns versus theoretically a strategy that can counter it. And of course, versus the Stoops, the anti-tank guns work amazingly, so the Stoops don't have a lot of health, and the anti-tank quick go through. And there you go, one Stoop down, 50 caliber wipe though, but still losing the Stoop is going to hurt Luciano. At least it wasn't as close to virtually 3 Stoop. It's also, of course, the issue of feeding his opponents anti-tank gun experience, which is not something Luciano should be, I think, willingly doing either. Harassing from the north here. Very good, very good. And there you go. Second Scott out there for WebsterBolek and the 1st Armoured Division. Got the infantry there. Still bombarding. I think he's just trying to take out some support. I'm just trying to snipe the rifleman there. Panzer Weapon good to go. Sturm Panzer receiving repairs. Will he try out for a Panther, another Stu G, or what will Luciano go for? There we go though. WebsterBolek setting up here for something again with a fresh smoke screen. Looks like there's another assault here. Infantry's lining up. Anti-tank is slowly being moved into position. In the south though, the assault goes go for the captain. The captain, I don't think, has any chance versus these hardened assault troops. And there you go, up close, the captain is shredded. But there you go, double Scott shoots and gets poor Fitz. We could get more. There we go, Jurgen follows in. Silly barrage off here from Luciano, I think, around the centre. And they've gone there into tank and punches moving ahead. Ralph almost close to being taken out. WebsterBolek needs to be careful. Pioneers up point blank versus the Scots retreating. And he loses another supporting team there. Anti-tank and wiped. And might lose the Ralph near some more damage. It's still raining down there on the MG42. So much carnage, so much death, and he's lost his rear sons, I think, up north here to the Panzer Grenadiers. Good work there by Luciano. Saw an opportunity to just get a wipe there. Very good, very good. Till he fired there, almost taking out the mortar. The ambulance should be able to support here, heal and reinforce. Northern victory point being secure. There he's down to 143 versus WebsterBolek's 258. Back here now for further going for WebsterBolek at the moment. There you go. Assault is actually going for him tonight. You got both sides having used almost the entire doctrine as well. Did get the Amsterdam with a sneak attack, but he loses the Duke here for a hit for the church, leaving Luciano now without any armor. In fact, it seems like most of WebsterBolek's caught up there in terms of population. So, is Luciano going to go for a Panther? Tiger is going to go for more Stoogs. All, I would say, very good questions. in the center of the double veteran 342 is just shredding the Americans. It's just a kill zone. It's like Omaha Beach, but without the beaches and more angry Germans. So what is WebsterBolek going to do next? And for that matter, what's Luciano's going to do? I mean, they have just been slugging away at each other to an extent, and certainly made a lot of interesting moves. There you go, the soldiers close to being murdered up here close. Assault grenades off, failed to make any impact. Considered a stroke there, but looks like Luciano decides against it. What is he planning? Going for a Panzer IV now. Going for a Panzerkampfwagen 4. Not a bad choice, not a bad choice. Which will help us the Scots deal with the infantry. Heading for the cutoff point, slowing down WebsterBolek's resource income. Very good, very good.
The capture point is being overrun.
Rifleman Captain double anti-tank in the south there. We got the Soldiers of the University Major, or the Assault Units I mean. Sweeping in. And a grenade assault, but easily dodged here by WebsterBolek. And there you go, Scots moving in there for the kill on the Assault Grenadiers. Panzer IV is almost done there for Luciano. Almost, and there you go. Arrives in the nick of time here to support the second of those frontline troops. Mortal almost wiped out with the Panzerwerfer, which has gained veterans, won 5 kills. More blasting around here, got the Scots moving up. Taking out some of Luciano's less fortunate pioneers. Victory points wise, he's really bleeding out here. WebsterBolek is all focusing on controlling the victory points here versus Luciano, which is definitely a good strategy. And there goes smoke screen up, preventing the MG40 from firing. Very thick smoke screen, in fact, here. Pretty much making it almost difficult, impossible here for Luciano to defend without some more serious support. And even then, it's not going to be easy. Like, this is a very dense smoke screen. I mean, its space sort of ranging from here. Like, that requires both Scots, at least one of them, for the firing smoking buddies. I think use both, and plus even the mortar there. So, like, that's a lot of smoke. Panzers there, pushing back the Assault Units. The flamethrower in this case, not really of much use when there's a sufficiently large number of angry Germans willing to ignore it. Oh, he's going to lose the MG40 if he's not careful. Luciano, foresight, foresight.
Heavy truck waiting for deployment.
Retreating there, very good, very good. Victory points wise, it continues to take against Luciano. He's down to 101 victory points. Panzer IV going for the Scots, but of course needs to be mindful of anti-tank weapons. There you go. That was a close one, that was a close one. Quite the long fight as well. We're almost approaching the 1 hour mark, at least the 50-minute mark. And this fight certainly is starting to look like it could actually hit the 1 hour mark, which would be quite a long match. Panzers moving forward here. Captain Rifleman standing about. There you go. Panzerwerfer barrage off. Ooh. Got the anti-tank gun, almost got the captain as well. Scots just continue to unleash hell there with the high explosive rounds from their 75mm cannons. Ooh, wiped half the Pioneer squad there. Great news for WebsterBolek, less amazing for Luciano. But there you go, goes to the Panzer IV, gets the anti-tank, leaving only one behind to deal with the Panzer IV, but even that's going to be enough there, I think, for Luciano to pull back his Panzer IV. Now the penetrating hit, and what is WebsterBolek planning? Bulldozer Sherman, Jackson, M10s, regular Shermans. Also, hopefully, some more infantry because he is depleted. Finally, it's Luciano's turn to beat out his opponent again there, down to 200, though he is at less than 100. He's at 91. It's going to be a close one. More smoke screens here, though, for WebsterBolek. Great stuff. Finding position going up as well. Nothing further doctrining though, for just anything really worse there for Bolek. No additional armor, no vehicles, no nothing. And I wonder what Luciano's planning for. Another Panzer IV, Tigers, Panthers, Sturmpanzers. Like, he's got a lot of options. It's just hard to say which exactly one Luciano's aiming for. Scots on a peculiar deal with the assault brigades in the south. There we go, forcing retreat, but not before the damage has been done. The point has been in a neutral, slowing down WebsterBolek's field income. Push for the centre. Finding position bar has not been upgraded yet. I suppose you might end up cancelling it as it is pretty exposed in this position currently. Another bulldozer coming out here for WebsterBolek. Nothing to deal with the tanks. I mean, right now Luciano I think would benefit a lot from Tigers or from Panthers, since a single M1 and a few bazookas will struggle with either, as long as Luciano doesn't do anything too stupid with them. Artillery fire against the Pioneers. Bazooka fire returning. In the south here, Panther 14 with Rapid taking ending damage. Nasty hits there. Back here, healing reinforcement. And in the south of lone machine gun crew, holding the line on its own. 124 left there for WebsterBolek. Luciano still at 91. Almost got a wipe there. There we go. Bulldozer going to shape for the MD42. Going to clear it out, at least force it away. 106 versus 91. Luciano is rapidly following up here in WebsterBolek. Is in hot pursuit there. Panther 4 going for the Bulldozer showing up north. Panther going to do this here, or further north, dealing with some infantry on the flanks. And you can see here that Luciano is trying his best not to just fall into the defensive field too easily. He's going to try and push back against WebsterBolek if possible here with his tanks, infantry, and tank weapons. And we're going to the barrage called in here on the assault units around the centre victory point. Panther 4 continues, and the tank and supporting Pioneers wiped out. Quite a loss there for Luciano. Continue to push out the tank and opening up. And the Panthers need to retreat. Panther 4 barrage off. Gets the anti-tank gun. Absolutely crazy stuff there. Heavy carnage. Casualties just keep piling up. I think loss-wise we're now looking at, I'd say about 400. Quite the bloody match. Quite the bloody match. And Luciano goes for another Sturmpanzer 4, another one. In the meanwhile, WebsterBolek is aiming for another lieutenant. I mean, certainly at this stage, if you're going to replace your infantry, you might as well go for the lieutenant if you lost him, since he is pretty good. He is pretty good. So I think that's the right decision there by WebsterBolek. Now, of course, I have to see if we can make use of it. Sturmpanzer almost down there for Luciano. Assault goes there versus the captain. Up north, swinging through here with the Scots to clear up the machine gun bunker, which is bravely defending Luciano's northern victory point. And down it goes. 50 points left for WebsterBolek. This is going to get really close here. Could go down to the wire here between these two players. Could go down to the wire. Fixing up that Sherman. Healing up those troops. Saying that Sturmpanzer machine guns being added. Die Maschinengewehren. The South Captain suppressed rather than moving about here. Double Scots moving up for WebsterBolek. Double Scots. 39 points left. Got the Bulldozer moving in. 7 kills here. Ooh, not a good hit there. Bazooka fight against the Sturmpanzer smoke going down. I mean, good use of smoke there. In this case, they're getting outflanked by the Panther 4, which ignores the smoke. Less fortune there for WebsterBolek. But hitting the northern victory point as well. Good, good, good. I do think you should be launching a more coordinated assault tactically out Luciano's stuff rather than just trying to use to create the victory point, because it does leave him a bit more vulnerable to a counter-attack. Up north, Panther going to do this victory 2 dealing with the lieutenant. The lieutenant does not stand a snowball's chance in hell here. Those Pantagonies are going to put them out of their misery. Sending in the Panther 4 trying to deal with the Scots. There you go. Gets a good hit. Gets a good hit. Moving up the anti-tank now to thwart this movement. And we can see that Luciano pulls back the Panther 4, likely anticipating an anti-tank and to deal with it. Luciano opts not to be greedy. Repositioning, 91 versus 35. Finding position in the south here, 50 cover up. Got the Bazooka then the assault engineers as they deal here with the pioneers before retreating. Another Panther for barrage here from Luciano, 16 kills. Veggie 2 gained, Veterans 2. No kills though. Gained from that fight. Or that barrage. And he's creating cover here using the bulldozer Sherman. Wow! I think that's the first time I've seen someone use this ability in a competitive match. That is the first time. Wow. In all of my years, I don't think I've seen anyone use it before now. That's impressive. Whoops, my apologies there. Scroll key there went a bit AWOL. Or scroll button on the mouse. Gets a bit due to your chance. Down to 16 versus 91. He's grabbed that victory point in the centre and possibly the one in the north. Fighters also about to hit the 1 hour mark. Troops there being dealt with by the MD-42, but there you go, smoke down, lots of smoke. WebsterBolek launches himself, there you go, Panther for the barrage off. Straight on the rifleman, wiped, exploded into a billion pieces. This is Fritz, I got a feeling we murdered something with this strike. High five everyone. Hoch 5 you mean? Yeah, Hoch 5, Hoch 5. Can't use dirty English here. Double Scots firing here. More pioneers there for Luciano. An absolutely brutal slugger of a match here with heavy casualties, and they just keep piling up there. M10 on the way there for WebsterBolek. He's certainly been floating quite a bit of fuel here. Luciano, no idea what he's going to go for now. He can't go for anything. He's actually been able to keep 2 assault gun escorts alive though throughout the entire match, which is pretty impressive. 9 versus 84, Panther 4 moving in, Sturm Panzer is moving in there, north side is being defended by a single Panzer gun escort. Bulldozer Shem rolling in, straight in front of the Pack 40, straight to other stuff there, half health already. Bazooka fine, other sorts of fine, there you go, Panther with barrage down here on the supporting lines here from WebsterBolek, going to take out his stuff there. He's about to lose the Sherman though. Got the Pack 40 though, got the Pack 40, 16 kills pulling back here, troops pulling through the centre. Panther 4 down, quite a bit of loss there for Luciano. Quite a loss. M10 moving ahead here, but it's not really doing much. It's not doing much. Could actually rush the northern victory point, to be honest, but he's put it all into the centre here, hoping to break Luciano in the process. But there you go, another smoke screen, another smoke screen. He's good using the smoke. He's really using the smoke amazingly, by the way, at least solidly. 9 points left. Another Panther 4 for Luciano. 50 cover there for WebsterBolek. Rushing in. Oh, he's going to get it. He's going to get the Panther there for taking out Luciano's artillery piece. But will it be enough? Still with the rockets fired off. There you go. It wipes one of the vehicle crews. Takes out almost the other vehicle crew for the Scots. Leaving WebsterBolek with nothing to crew them. And we can see that Luciano's taking advantage of this to push through here. He can reinforce them, but still, that's only one he can crew with it. M10 moving in, the centre victory point secured here by Luciano. And we got GG from WebsterBolek. 59 minutes and 36 seconds. Oh god, that was a brutal fight here. Brutal fight. A violent fight right here on Holotny Falmer with Mechanized Assault versus Armoured Company. This fight definitely had a lot of things you do not see every day. Absolutely outstanding, absolutely spectacular. WebsterBolek, I think, though, could have done with more pressure on the sides at times, flanking more his opponent. I definitely think some better resource experience at times. I think like he should have just considered some regular Shermans here and there, some other elements. Also, mines would have benefited him a lot at times. I really think would have slowed down Luciano as well. But overall, say an amazing fight here between two high-ranked players. So I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe to your friends, share it with everyone. Also, big thanks to Danilov, to Dion, and to Guy for donating and support the Propagandacast. Allow me to keep doing these videos. Of course, if you wish to support, and I'd certainly like it if you did. Links in the video description. You can either donate by PayPal or pledge on Patreon. And this is Impertinent signing off. We'll be back with another video tomorrow. Cheers, everybody.